Well, is this some watertight thesis? It won't be. Nothing's complete, perfect, certain in this world. Seems to be the rule. I doubt I've got all the answers. And I very much doubt that all the answers I have got are all right. That's not likely, is it? You will find out the better of things simply by living, simply by more time in the classroom. That's very good. Why do I trust it's very good? Because it seems to be the way God has it. And I'm going to trust him for it. Why? Because this uncertainty gives me the opportunity of trusting him. And my trust is an expression of my gratitude for all the kindness and goodness I've received, not of myself, but of his grace and goodness as I see it. And I do my best to see it, in the sense that I purpose to look upon whatsoever is good and lovely, and to value it as such, to appreciate it. And yes, this builds an incredible gratitude in me, which propels me to want to trust him. I'm filled with hope and joy and peace at what I find to be so good and what I focus on. I look for the good. I do not look for the faults, the evil. I do not dwell upon such. And the awareness of the good, none of which I've truly earned, nor did I even start with or exist originally, but for some quite inexplicable, miraculous occurrence of being. And in gratitude and in joy of that, I thank God. I choose to trust he's there. I want with all my heart for him to be. Well, that's called love. We're meeting what seems to constitute the first principle of life. To love God with all our heart, soul, mind and strength. Our God. What we value, the personification of such. And the practice of such, by focusing on all that is good. It seems to bring such reward, such joy, such peace, such hope, such fulfillment, that we continue to do it, whatever the argument for or against might be. Get out of my way, I know what I value. And it gives us such a blessing that we are overwhelmed with charitability, and we would like all life to experience such. So we have a great desire in us to believe and trust that we are sent, to give you such opportunity too, all life, that you might know the same fullness of life, life eternal. Wherefore are we sent? Funny style of King James writing, wasn't it? The words do mean slightly different things, of course, in a different language and culture. We are, as I have been at pains to emphasize, blessed by uncertainty, not cursed by it. We are blessed by the existence of the state, not cursed by it. Without civilization, well, there's no point in me being here. It's just a chaos of, if you like, not even animalistic culture and just confusion. I'm not usually advocating Pauline scripture, but again, Paul says, I find whatsoever estate I find myself to be content. And you think, hang on, in prison, flogged? Are you mad? But you see, by content, I think he might mean accepting. Sure, I will avoid prison and being flogged if you give me the opportunity, but I'm accepting that I don't have the opportunity. But the acceptance, you see, is because of trust in the goodness of God, which is underpinned, built on a foundation of utter trust. And that trust is born of gratitude for something. Your gratitude might be for the Christian theology that he's given his son as the perfect sacrifice that's paid my bills. Yeah, I don't agree with that view, but I can see that it gives you the trust and enables you to therefore be content in the Pauline sense, although you might, from the world's point of view, be greatly deprived. You know, you're in prison, or you're in poverty, or you've lost the job, you know, that brought you the good standard of living because of your ethics. Yeah, okay, I accept it. Do you see content in that sense? Because I'm trusting in God's amazing provision to always do what's best. He can put things right. You know, to live is Christ, to die is gain. Goodness, that's Paul again, isn't it? I'm becoming a disciple of Paul. Oh my goodness. How did that happen? And it won't do. You're not to become a disciple of Paul, or Jesus, or any other guru floating around. You're to become, I mean, he had disciples. You don't even remember the names of most of the 12. Most people, anyway. Even Christian people can't run off the names of the 12 disciples straight off. It's like asking them what John 17's about. They say, oh yes, which chapter? What topic? What story is that? Where? Is it 3:16? No, it's not. It's John 17. Oh yes, the priestly prayer. Yes, praying for us in the garden. Can't remember what's in it. Tell me. And the one you do remember is Paul, who wasn't one of the 12 anyway. And it's Paul that argues he's a disciple, and, you know, quite convincingly. But is Jesus calling them disciples? I'm not sure. He calls them friends. That's the relationship that I hear. I have called you friend. For all things that my Father has are mine, and I told you of them. I've treated you as an equal. Wow. And in John 17, I've prayed for you that, well, about you rather, that he's loved you as he's loved me. Wow. Doesn't sound like a way of encouraging humility, does it? In your followers. Thank you, Dad.